All right. Now that everyone knows I'm based in Barcelona, I want to welcome everybody today
Hey guys,
to
let's
yes,
start. Oh,
we
sorry,
started.
sorry. It's a bit latency. Okay.
No worries. Thank you. Again, welcome everyone to today's webinar session that we're calling Harnessing AI for Growth and Efficiency in B2B e-commerce. So we're really excited to have you with us today and really would like to dive deeper into how AI can be leveraged to drive growth and efficiency specifically in B2B e-commerce. Now, before we start the session, I'd like to thank Alibaba.com, everyone from their team, from the team for their continued support. I think this is a very useful session for SMEs all over the world. I'm gonna let Lingnan, our speaker for today, talk about Alibaba in details, but it's quite impressive the work that you do and the support that you provide for small and medium-sized enterprises, providing solutions, helping them connect with buyers worldwide, and really streamlining operation and accelerating international growth. Just to give you also a few updates about Ecom Connect platform. So we also provide micro, small, and medium-sized businesses in developing countries to access to information, courses, webinars like this one, to help them grow and be able to sell online and across countries as well. So all of these are available on the Ecom Connect platform. I'll share a link in a few minutes in the chat. So if anyone is interested in joining us, we would love to have you in our community as well. Now allow me to introduce our speaker for today. Lingnan Cui is Head of Communication for Europe and the Americas at Alibaba.com. She oversees communication strategy to help Alibaba's presence and engagement with small businesses in these regions, and this is why she's here with us. But before joining Alibaba, and I find this quite interesting, she was the White House correspondent for China CCTV and has a lot of experience in communication. She's an MBA graduate from California, and she's here to give us a bit of her time today. We're extremely grateful to talk about AI, Alibaba.com, and sales and growth. Lingnan, we're really happy to have you here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. So my name is Lingnan. I'm the head of communications for Europe and Americas for Alibaba.com. It's been actually a pretty exciting year for our company. And then because we've made a lot of progress, especially in the intersection between AI and global trade. So I'm really happy that you, for your invitation for our company to share our exciting new updates with our SME audience. So yeah, I'm super excited to share these updates and then how can they benefit small and medium-sized businesses worldwide.
Okay, maybe so we take a step back before we go into AI. If you can tell us a little bit like about Alibaba.com and what really is more important to me is why does it matter to anyone attending this webinar at the moment from different corners of the world?
Yeah, so of course, so Alibaba.com is a leading B2B platform. We connect 50 million small and medium-sized business worldwide. So we are the very business that Jack Ma first founded back in 1999. And our vision is to simplify global sourcing and selling for the SMEs. So you've often heard about, oh, SMEs are the cornerstone, the backbone of the global economy. Yet I do think that you must know this already, they encounter challenges every day, such as weak bargaining power, they like talent shortages, and then they're super sensitive to prices, and then supply chain fluctuations affect them more often than for the bigger companies. So in the past 24 years at Alibaba.com, we've only honed one skill, and one skill only is to make it easy to do business anywhere, leveraging technology. So along the years, So back in the days is we started with as a yellow page. So to anyone who's old enough to know what is a yellow page, right? Unfortunately, I'm one of them who knows. But so the yellow pages basically is a phone book allowing SME buyers and sellers to easily find each other. So at the very beginning, Alibaba, you can interpret it as a electronic or a internet era version of the yellow pages. And then we moved on to allowing to put in more trust between this SME. So we have made online transactions available. So basically, you don't necessarily have to do banknotes. So the transactions will not be much of a hassle. So that's a step 2. And then later on, we introduced the mobile version. So that's when everybody started using their phones, right? So the mobile version makes it possible for businesses to trade anywhere, anytime. Basically, especially during the COVID period, I do believe a lot of people may have lost their jobs and then they want to start their own business. And then that's the moment when they find out that, oh, with Alibaba.com, you can do business on your phones. You could very likely be enjoying your vacation on a beach, but you can still do your business on your phones. So this is how we have evolved. So we've seen the number of SMEs on our platform triple in the last 5 years. It means more and more SMEs, small businesses, are joining global trade using digital tools. And we are, in our 24 years, we're pretty confident that we know, this is what we know for sure, that technology is driving the rise of small companies in B2B global trade. So this is how I usually introduce Alibaba.com, but there are people who might think, okay, B2B, what does this mean? And then that sounds so far away from my life. Why should I care? But let me conceptualize that for you. And then it's like where the opportunities comes in, like why it matters for our audience here who are joining us from every corner of the world. So I do think Alibaba, I've been here for 3 years, and over the 3 years time, the more time I'm spending here, the more I realize that Alibaba.com is a top platform to jumpstart your business. If you have a, if you want to create your product, your brand, and your business, and then we are the go-to place. So first of all, I do think what people don't generally know is that B2B is a $20 trillion business. It's huge and full of opportunities. And then global trade market is also vast, with United Nations projecting it that it is soaring to $32 trillion this year. So I would encourage our audience here to really catch that opportunity. I do think the opportunity is ripe for people to join us and then do global trade. Yeah, so I do think first of all, if you, I don't know, Jennifer, do you have a product dream in mind? Like one day you want to have your own brand, something like that?
That's an interesting question. I have so many. I'm one of those who has ideas every couple of days and then have problems deciding which one to proceed with. But yeah, I guess it would be more in the fashion sector, although I have no fashion knowledge.
No, you don't. The key is that you don't necessarily need to know that much of a domain knowledge, because I think what you mentioned is, it's like almost the first hurdle that comes to people's mind, right? So I've encountered a lot of people, and then for me personally as well, oh, I think I have this great product idea, and I just find a piece of napkin and then just draw that on that napkin. But like, if you end your dream there, that napkin will still be a napkin. It will not turn into reality. But actually with our service here, you can utilize AI tools to, you can just basically send that napkin and then take a photo of that napkin, and then you can search via our AI tools, and then the technology will pair you with So first of all, it will help you refine that sketch, the fashion garment that you mentioned. It will help you refine that and then analyze it, like what kind of fabrics, like buttons, what kind of like fabric or metal or, I don't know, pearl that is. And then it will develop into a much more mature design. And then it will help you match with suppliers. Basically, these suppliers have been verified on Alibaba.com via a third party. It's not like we say they're good. It's like a third party. And then third party is often a European company or an American company saying that this is a trustworthy supplier. And then they are capable. They have a successful proven track record that says, oh, they've done it before. They have a high chance of like produce your product. So yeah, so I do think, so first, if you want to build your unique product or brand, you can easily design your products here. And then if you want to build a business, let's say maybe a hair salon or a gardening business, and then you need to source for those essential tools for your business. This is also a track that you can, it's not like build your product type of track, right? It's build your business kind of track. So like recently popular items such as like t-shirt printers, mini excavators, like those, if you have a gardening business, you want to maybe not use manpower to dig, to do the earth. So mini excavators could be a big helper. And then cotton candy machines are on the rise as well, and food trucks. So all these you can.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we offer all kinds of products as long as you can think about that. I mean, it is tools, essential tools that could help you build your business. Our data also shows that people are actively building their own ventures. And then, of course, last but not least, if you want to be a retailer, basically, I want to be an influencer, right? And then I want to do fashion, and then I want to grow my following. Then, I mean, it's very easy to find products on Alibaba.com, and then you can also design your logos. So it comes in a whole package where you can actually launch your own brand. So all this being said, I do think Alibaba.com is a top platform if you want to start your own business.
It's so inspiring to see your passion, whether about the possibility of what can be achieved as an entrepreneur or or small business, and your dedication to all of the support that you give the SMEs through Alibaba.com. Let me move this a little bit further towards the topic of our conversation today. So that was, I can already see the different possibilities that a platform can provide. But what about how Alibaba.com is joining the AI revolution, and how can like these small businesses or seller take advantage of these options? Because as you know, there is a certain idea or misunderstanding that AI is for big companies only, and it's only for those who can afford it, which is no longer true. We've spoken before, and there are a lot of options that Alibaba can support SMEs with. So I was wondering if you can tell us a little bit about these.
Yeah, I think why we want to explore on AI, why do we think AI could be a big booster for SMEs? So when you're thinking about global sourcing, global trade, or global selling, it is daunting, right? It's complex and it's lengthy. And then, when I think about, this is across the nations, across oceans. So when I think about it, my head is going to explode. So it involves having, a lot of having product vision. That's only one step, right? And then you need to find the right supplier to build the product and to navigate logistics, customs, and then after sales. So it seems very daunting for small and medium-sized companies. But we believe AI can greatly level the playing field for small, medium-sized businesses to do business globally. And then how are we using AI to improve that process? I think there are two main parts. I think first is that we're constantly upgrading our existing service, basically like within our website and our app, right? And then this is called a smart assistant. And then we're also expanding into new territories. I would like to highlight our effort in Axio, which is the world's first AI-powered B2B search engine. So maybe I can just briefly talk about Smart Assistant. So Smart Assistant is an AI-powered tool designed for sellers to simplify their store management. So if you're SME and then you're often a one-man band, right? It will take you, if you want to run your store smoothly, it will you need to hire another person to manage that, and then it's just a lot of cost for an SME. So the basic idea is to let AI take over your routine tasks, allowing you to focus on growth, to, I don't know, like outreach on social media, stuff like that. This tool also helps expand business opportunities by improving visibility, giving fast automated responses to buyers, and then proactively communicate, and then also AI-powered market analysis. So now 20,000 of our SME users are using Smart Assistant, and then business leaders are eager to see practical artificial intelligence applications and their potential to add value. We're proud to be one of the few companies that are using AI to solve practical problems. So, so as I've said, like global trade is very complex, right? So it is. We do think it's one of the perfect scenarios where you can have the richest use cases for AI. And then I do think also there's a lot of repetitive tasks. AI could greatly take over that and then give the time back to us. And yeah, so about Axio, I think this is Jennifer. This is why you approached us in the beginning, right? So we launched Axio in November at Web Summit. Our president did that, and then it is one of the most powerful tools that we launched. And then it is independent of Alibaba.com. It is a standalone, brand new service. It is we would call it the next generation of B2B sourcing. And then we also give it a very interesting name. In Latin, Axio means summon. So with Axio, you can summon the expertise, information, manufacturers, and products, just like as you wish at this moment. And then they will come to you. It's not like you're seeking for information. Information will come to you instead. So this is a brand new search engine, and it is about to index or catalogs all B2B suppliers around the world. So basically expanding to a much greater extent, like as long as you're on the internet, and then buyers could be, like potential buyers would be possible. It will be possible for them to find you if you're a perfect match. So it is a very conversational. It can better interpret buyers' sourcing intentions. It's like having a guide, a mentor, who understands what you truly want by your side. So of course, Axio is an AI-powered B2B search engine. So let's think about today, like how do we do search? It's very much like keywords driven, right?
Exactly. But I mean, I think the key thing is the intent. I think you mentioned this briefly, but I've never heard of any search engine that really ranks intent very well. They just make assumption based on the keywords that you use, but this is quite very valuable and a key differentiating factor than any regular, I mean, your average search engine, regardless of this is user or a B2B or a B2C search engine?
Yeah. So I think at first it changes the way how people interact with search engines. So, I mean, like we're not like Jennifer, I do think you have used ChatGPT and stuff like that, right? So it is, you can imagine it a little bit like that. So the interactive, the conversational part is very much like a ChatGPT. So previously, because global trade is kind of complex, and then you also mentioned it requires domain knowledge and everything, right? So it matters when you ask the right question. So maybe, oh, I want to build my own fashion garment, and then you may lack the basic knowledge about how to describe that to a supplier. So I think what Axio can do is that it will guide you. So you can just tell Axio what you want in plain language, and then it will interpret what you have said and then transform it into a professional request. And then, for example, like the fashion garment you described, it could be like the length, different sizes, and then quantity, and then fabrics. It will give you all choices automatically. And then you can make your choices, like multiple choices or single choices. And then it will eventually form what we call it's a request for quotation. Basically, it's, I have this wish, and then this piece of paper will be sent to a lot of suppliers, and then they will reply to you and then give you prices and then how the process is going to be. So that's essentially is the new B2B search, as we talked about, what I'm trying to convey that today. And also, that's the B2B search engine part, right? And then it also comes with Axio Page, which is a dynamic B2B wiki. So I'm sorry, could you move on to the next slide, please? Yeah. So this is where I'm. I talked about the search engine part, right? And then the Wikipedia part is very interesting as well. So I think, Jennifer, when you are, I don't know, browsing on different e-commerce websites, and then you see the descriptions, do you trust the descriptions most of the time?
Depends on the overall trust I have with the website, but not, I mean, especially depends if we're talking about, I don't know, a clear product, something that easy to understand, like a glass or something, then yeah, most likely. But if we're talking about something costly and that has a layer of complication, not really, I mean.
Yeah. So like to our audience today, I mean, if you are a shopper, you would find, okay, the description looks too, very fancy, and then, but I'm not 100% sure I will get the final product is going to be exactly like what it demoed, right? And I do think this is where, especially like in B2B arena, you are worried because it's a bulk purchase a lot of times. It involves a lot of money, and then it is very lengthy. So it will if anything goes wrong, that might impact your cash flow, which is very essential to your business, right? So I do think this part is wiki. We call it like wiki. Axio Page is dynamic Wikipedia style page. Is that it reconstructs B2B product information as we know today. So every SKU, for example, a fashion garment will have its own wiki page presented in a very clear and objective way. So the word objective is very important. So it means it's not partial, it's not salesy, it is just purely describing what it is, and then it can introduce it can move on to the next phase, which is comparison, where you will see an Excel form. Basically, oh, these are the similar products, these are the similar manufacturers, and then like what are their advantages and disadvantages. It will do a deeper analysis for you, and then basically it it is trying to help the SMEs when you're making very important purchasing decisions, to make sure that the information presented to you is not fake. It's based on based in an objective way, and then allowing you to make an informed decision. And I do think that will help you increase efficiency. And also the last part is, could we also stay with the next slide? Sorry. Yeah, and then the next part is an e-commerce platform. So basically what we've said is that, from the search engine to the Wikipedia, basically the SMEs can make their sound business decisions. We only halfway through, or not even halfway through, for global trade, because the next step is logistics, the financial transactions, and then also after sales. I think that part need to have a very trustworthy platform to help you finalize it. This is where Alibaba.com comes in. The capabilities of Alibaba.com comes in, because it has 24 years of rich experience in dealing with situations like that. So yes, altogether we have Axio, and then we do think this is our new endeavor. It can help SMEs to follow up on inquiries, payments, and after sales. And then this is our new endeavor. It is reimagining global trade, initiated from a very simple and intuitive way, asking a right question. And then eventually it will also, right now, it currently supports several languages: English, French, German, Portuguese, and Spanish. But we're, of course, expanding into more languages. Yeah, so I think I would like to share a demo about Axio. Can my colleagues there help us with that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's a little bit of a delay. So while they set up the video,
I see a question. I see a question in the chat box. Yeah.
You're excited to answer questions.
Yeah, I only saw this one. So while you're fishing for my demo, I will try to answer this question. Is the Alibaba B2B e-commerce only for manufacturers, or can a company like mine, a retail e-commerce gift shop, who sources unique products from South Africa, also get? Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, we are a global. It's not only for manufacturers, for sure. It is not only for manufacturers. So if you go on our website, you will find out that there are two main tabs. One is search for products. The other is search for manufacturers. I mean, of course, in the first tab, this is where your products could be sourced. Could be found there. So we are a global B2B e-commerce company. So we do have different teams in almost every corner of the world. Oh, sorry.
I think the video is running.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for playing that. I think Axio is, well, we love our product here. And then I would encourage you to try it out at axio.com or axio.ai. It's very easy to use and then very suitable for anyone who does not really know, like who isn't green hand in my eyes. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I didn't get the chance to answer the question in full earlier. Jennifer,
Yeah.
do you mind if I, yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so I do think, yeah, so we not only does our platform encourages, so include manufacturers, but also retailers as well. And then, I mean, please contact our team on LinkedIn, and then I think they will try to contact you in return. And then, yeah, the second question, I'm not super sure. I think it's Internet of Products. Does Alibaba involve and supply to Internet of Things products or services with AI to SMEs? I'm not exactly sure. I do think for Internet of, yeah.
Yeah, I think the question is a little bit not clear as well. So if Lucas can write it again in a clearer way or elaborate on it more, I think it would be easier to answer.
Yeah, but Internet of Things products, definitely we have that. If you want to source those products, I do think you can find them on Alibaba.com. If it is you want to supply those products, I think you could connect with our team on LinkedIn. That would be awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you for answering the questions. In the meantime, I wanted to move the conversation a little bit. So we've talked about Axio, and you've dived quite deep into how does it help personalize customer experiences in digital trade. And I think it provides answers to a lot of questions and solutions to a lot of problems. Do you want to go a little bit deeper on really how does your AI solution help personalized experiences for customers?
Yeah, so I do think maybe let's break this down into 3 categories. For Axio, it is very conversational. It could tailor to your needs pretty much because it is a ChatGPT style conversation search, right? So you can imagine it must be very personalized if this is the question that we are dealing with. And then so we're mainly targeting on like 3 user types. So for anyone who's here who does not know much about global trade, that means you might be a novice buyer, business buyer. So you might have limited knowledge about a specific category, and then you want to seek knowledge and education from Axio. So for example, maybe a toy merchant who wants to create a bubble blaster, like those bubble making machines. And then he has never made that before, right? He is unsure if such a product exists, what material to use, and what considerations to keep in mind. So fearing that suppliers might overcharge him. So that happens sometimes, right? So when discussing material choices with suppliers, AI explanations regarding different materials and accessories are extremely helpful. For instance, suppliers showed him various types of zippers accessories are extremely helpful. So I think for novice buyers, that's one route. And then we could have growth buyers. We frame them as these users. They want Axio to assist them in exploring new products and optimizing their supply chains by providing a more structured and efficient data. So, and then thirdly is those experienced buyers. They appreciate Axio's precise search capabilities, and then Axio can also enable sending inquiries to multiple suppliers at one time, so that actually saves them time. So yeah, so I do think we have a couple of examples, some stories I've heard that proves this is actually very useful. So Scott, who is a friend of mine in the States, for example, he's been in the construction industry for 25 years, and then he runs a multi-billion-dollar business. He said Axio took something that usually drags on for months, right? Like the request for quotation. So request for quotation, although it's a mouthful, but basically it is sending out a wish list to people, like, oh, this is what I want, and then give me a price, something like that. And then it usually, you need to send that to multiple people, and then you have to manually follow up on that. And then it's just very time consuming. But with Axio, it is this research, doing that kind of research, like basically like which supplier should I be sending my wish list to, can be wrapped up in minutes. So imagine the time and energy that could be freed up, and then so that you can focus on growing your business instead of just doing those repetitive tasks, right? And then also there's Mike, who works in the outdoor equipment space. He said he wants to source flashlights. So he shared how Axio felt like having a mentor by his side, guiding him through the things he haven't even considered before, like the size of the flashlight, usage scenarios and budgets. So it wasn't just about finding the suppliers, it's about learning how to think smarter when making sourcing decisions. Yeah, so I think that's basically how personalized it can get. I think, yeah, so.
Okay. Let me ask you then, because we get this question a lot, and I think this is one struggle that a lot of businesses have, which is really trying to scale services across borders, so exporting products or services across to another country, and mainly increase market reach. So how does AI help any business scale across borders, specifically with the use of Alibaba.com?
So I think for any business, if you want to, it is their dream. I mean, it is every small, medium-sized business dream, to almost every one of them, to enlarge their customer base and then sell to a global market, like a mini global company, in my mind. So I think our smart assistant is a great tool for that. So I think, so first of all, if you become a supplier on Alibaba.com, it means you get the AI tool, which is Smart Assistant, for free. I think this is a big commitment from our side, because we want to, we do think small, medium-sized businesses, they face a lot of challenges daily, right? So they don't have the capital as the big companies to really invest in technologies. So we do think democratizing AI can help SMEs increase efficiency. And then for SMEs, they can access, for SME business buyers, they used to work hard to post products or stay up very late to communicate with customers across different time zones. So that is, I'm sorry, but this is something inevitable if you're doing global trade, because your customers is from all corners of the world. So, and then I think what Smart Assistant can do is to alleviate some of the pain in that regard, to give you more sleep time, right? So, so I do think first is it will. I mean, in the descriptions later, I will explore more, but I think first is product optimization. So basically, sorry, the Smart Assistant has three main features. One is product optimization, and then bulk RFQ quotations, and then message responses, right? So the message responses is what I have alluded to. So product optimization, how can that be a tool to save you time? Basically, it is, I think, those small businesses spend hours trying to perfect a product description and then uploading pictures and everything, right? So it helps, so this feature helps optimize your product titles, generate professional images and videos, and write better descriptions, and then expand your keyword list. So the core value of that is that, so it could rapidly pinpoint products that require optimization. And the second is to harness a buyer-centric and best-selling keywords to refine the product titles and draw more buyer attention. So I do think the results is after basically asking AI to rewrite the product title, product description, and then maybe also improving on the pictures and videos, the product exposure rate is up by 7%. The click rate, people click on your products, increased by 5%. So, and then also it is very simple to use. Basically, it is, you ask the AI tool to give you a better description, and then it's not like a lengthy communication process. It's like with one button, oh, I accept your recommendations or suggestions, and then it's done, voila. So you don't have to, no longer need to spend a lot of time optimizing your postings. And then I think also for the image generation part, a lot of time is also spent on, taking the right picture. And then you also need to spend money on, maybe potentially book a shooting studio, picture shooting studio and stuff like that. So I do think some of for now, you can only take a picture by your phone, and then the AI will optimize changing backgrounds of your products, making it looks more appealing, and then potentially generate more buyer interest in that. So I think you can also do different testings, right? Like what kind of optimization actually works. So also it's about video generation as well. So sellers, they just need to upload a raw video footage, and Smart Assistant can produce introduction videos with natural English voiceovers, subtitles, and background music that are actually going to help you sell. So taking all that into consideration, it is like you don't need to hire photographers, so that time and money is saved. And then also maybe marketing people, you don't necessarily need to hire one extra marketing person to help you write the descriptions. So I do think all of these ways can help SMEs save money and also increase efficiency. Yeah. And then also it's about the RFQ bulk reactions, like quotations. So before going to details, I've just explained to you what the RFQ is. I'm just going to repeat myself. It is request for quotation. Basically, it's a wish list, right? So when a seller, let's say I'm sitting in Barcelona, for example. I'm sitting in Barcelona, and then I'm getting a I'm getting a response from maybe, let's say, the US. And then, because of the time difference and then stuff. So or the fact that I'm receiving tons of different requests for quotations from different corners of the world, I can actually process them using the help of AI. So basically, you can select the products, you can choose at least 40 products based on your product performance ranking. And then somehow based on your, how you have communicated with your customers before. Like the AI basically knows your drill. And then it can answer them in a batch. So you don't have to send your price quotations one by one. And then you also, at the same time, you're showing your customers you are online, you're on top of things. You're not imagining cross-border business, you have never met the person. The person lives far away from you, right? So it's very difficult to build trust. But like an instant reply of messages actually can help build that trust, that letting the other side know that there's the actual person who's sitting here. I think that's That's the same thing with message responses as well. So when a seller opens his chat box, the smart reception, like the smart assistant, will automatically be activated. It provides suggestions on how to reply to the buyer. So it is not only a human being. It's like, sorry, an AI chatbot guide working together with a human being and then trying to answer those responses and in a very instant way. Yeah, so I think this feature supports also a variety of languages, including Spanish, French, German, Arabic, Thai, Turkish, Portuguese. So the list is a really long list. So our data shows that AI helps increase the rate of buyers because you are responding them in a timely fashion, right? So their response rate actually is higher than before. So our data here is like the response rate is above, it's about 10% within the 24 hours. So I do think it's evidence that it does help improve efficiency. And then also, for the time difference, right? So you don't necessarily have to sit on your computer all the time. Yeah.
I think basically what I hear from this is that any reason that holds anyone from participating in e-commerce, whether B2B or across trade, has been eliminated by all of the solutions you are providing through Alibaba.com. So there is absolutely no reason except a psychosocial reason to not start a business or get into e-commerce.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's a big compliment. Thank you so much. And I do think, I did see the other question. So IoT with AI.
Yeah, this is Lucas again, who is asking if he can contact Alibaba WhatsApp to inquire and progress further on the IoT with AI instead of going through LinkedIn.
I'm not super sure what does IoT with AI mean. I'm sorry, but please go ahead and then talk to our team through different channels, either via WhatsApp or LinkedIn. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I wish I know more. Sorry.
That's okay. Let me just ask you maybe the before last question. I have two more questions. So we've discussed a little bit different AI solutions that you have for e-commerce and B2B. But I want to ask you, like, what after? So what is coming up? You might just have a few ideas or do not want to go in depth, but I want to ask you, like, how does Alibaba.com see the future with an AI perspective?
Yeah, so I'm glad that you raised this question. I do think for the Oxio part, it is a B2B, it's a designated vertical B2B AI-powered search engine. So if you're looking at Google, it currently indexes about 4 to 5% of the world's information. So it's only 5 to 4%. Let that data sink in for a little while. Only 4 to 5%. So with AI, a large amount of offline industry knowledge and information will be digitized and digested. So that means with the help of AI, a lot of information will be moved into the computer's mind, something like that. So AI will unleash the power of 80% of the world's information. So we do believe that in the future, the information will be not only produced by humans, but it's by AI and humans working together. 80% of the new data, new knowledge of our human society. So I do think AI will keep on bringing costs down and then also increasing efficiency for SMEs in global trade. And we think for now, as human race, we've come up with so many large language models, right? And then the next we should do is to explore on that and then how to utilize them and help solve practical challenges for people. So I do think like global trade is a perfect scenario for AI to work its magic, because it is because I mentioned it's very complicated, and then sometimes it's repetitive, and then I do think AI could help alleviate the burdens for SMEs. So basically what we have discussed, what we have demonstrated today is only like 10% of our overall concept, but yeah, there will be more to come. And then I'm very, very excited to be sharing that with you later in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like things are moving so fast in the AI sector that we're barely keeping up, and I feel under some pressure to continuously check the newest tool and try it and test it out. So yeah, we'll definitely have a future conversation on AI and how it helps digital trade. My last question basically is, so what are like the biggest challenges Alibaba.com faces in using AI to really help digital trade and like service quality? Like, I know we talk a lot about the benefits of AI, but there are some challenges. I wondered if you could just briefly talk about these a little bit.
Yeah, so I would say that I wouldn't say that they're the biggest challenges, but I do think there are big opportunities. So if you could, like, for example, we have calculated ourselves, because we've been doing this for the last 24 years, right? So it roughly takes 28 steps to successfully complete a transaction in global trade. So it is lengthy and complicated. So what AI is doing, if you have, so what I've demonstrated to you is more like how AI can help SMEs to bring up their efficiency, more like in the beginning of the whole process, or the top 50% of the whole process, right? So I do think what AI is doing is to try to revolutionize the part of search, getting product inspirations, and then finding the right suppliers, and then also sending the wish lists to suppliers around the world, right? But I do think the future lies at, like, we would love to see more updates or more areas that AI can help us in terms of what we call fulfillment. What do we mean by fulfillment? Is the logistics, the finances, the after sales, the even more difficult part of global trade. But we do think there are a lot of opportunities and then spaces for AI to instill the new changes. Yeah.
Okay, this is definitely quite an interesting view of the future. All right.
Oh, I also see a question here. Sorry.
I was gonna say that. Go ahead.
I'm jumping on the questions. Yeah. So from Rwanda. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Gourmet coffee. Yeah. So, I mean, sure. I do think. I think earlier this year, Jennifer, I went to Geneva with our president, the company president. To join the MSME Day. I remember vividly there's an example from Ethiopian that's whose name is Abebe. I think she is a coffee maker in Ethiopia. And then I do think we have helped her directly sell coffee, not raw coffee, but like processed, like higher end, be like deeper into the manufacture process, that kind of products, and then sell to a global market. So the short answer is yes, we can do that. And then please feel free to contact our team on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the last call for any pending questions. I know we have a few minutes, but yeah, I wanted to give you a minute or two to close, maybe last few words, and then we can just,
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I had a blast. I mean,
Great.
You can see that I'm waving my hand, I'm dancing all around. Yeah, so it is very exciting progress that we're making. And then we've met with SMEs around the world, especially I think this year for me myself, and it moves me a lot, especially in Geneva. Like we have a Vietnamese seller, an Indian seller, an SME seller, and then the Ethiopian lady who joined us online because she couldn't get the visa. So I think it is difficult to imagine that I'm like, if she is invited by United Nations, and then it will be easy for her to go. But sometimes SMEs face those different challenges, right? So by looking at them and meeting them, I'm really confident. I'm very moved by the fact that our small business, that our business, who's mainly based in Hangzhou, can bring benefits to SMEs around the world. So it's like knowing about this is one thing, but meeting them is another.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we're honored to be that catalyst of change, and then we will continue to be that in the future. Yeah.
Great. I mean, as a marketer myself, I really do understand what you're saying in terms of being able to see the impact of the work that you're doing with people and not just actual numbers, and knowing indirectly that you provide help and support to SMEs all over the world. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today. It's been really fun, insightful, and even I myself, I am a little bit inclined to go launch a fashion business, especially with all of the AI tools and help that this provides to anyone. As I said, it removes a lot of barrier for small businesses and entrepreneurs to join that process. So I don't think anyone has any excuses to not implement or launch their idea or business and enhance their operation as well using Alibaba.com. Thank you again for everyone here. I hope you've enjoyed the practical solutions offered by Alibaba.com and consider them into your own business strategies. There's, as I mentioned, it might look a little bit overwhelming, but AI is a powerful tool. And I believe what we've discussed today will help you unlock new opportunities for growth and efficiency. Thank you again, Lingnan, and thank you to everyone at Alibaba.com. And hopefully we'll have more of these sessions soon as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it, Jennifer. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.